Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear on this Friday morning. First thing I want to talk about is a time-changing Sunday morning, March the 13th. I'm sure most of y'all are aware of it, so don't get caught by surprise. We always want to spring forward this time of year, and then later on we'll fall back. It's interesting hearing the debate on the pros and cons of the time change. It's just something. Our weather brought to us by Drew Pollard's company, Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Proud to have them a part of us, a small business here in Bay County, and I'd like for you to support them as much as you can. Looking at the high today, it's supposed to reach to 70 today. It's going to be a pretty nice day. Get all the rain on out of here, then low, maybe 48 here on the coast. By now tomorrow, it's going to be cold tomorrow night. I plan on having a fire. I'm pretty sure it'll be my last fire of the year. Ironically, I'd already put all my stuff up and cleaned up my fireplace, but we can throw another fire in if we have to, and I believe we're going to try to do that. So it's going to be cold. I mean, it's getting down to below freezing Sunday morning in the inland and right around 31, 32 here on the coast, all right? Our river readings. Apalachicola to Bluntstown, take a look at it. It's at 8.5, and it's still a little high, had a little bump in it. But check out the Choctawhatchee at Caryville. Is going up, and it's at a 7 foot, and it's going to continue to go up some more. And I've got a really interesting story next segment on what to catch a river when the river's right. I've got some pictures to prove it. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. We're looking at a low tide this morning at 3:11 and a high tide this afternoon at 3:24, almost an even 12 hours right there. And pretty decent tides on through all the way up to about next Thursday or Friday, and it'll slack off some. The wind again in double figures, as it happens in March. The south-southeast at about 11. All right, let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We always had some good pictures. A lot of times in this first segment, I just always enjoy the stories behind the pictures. It's just not a picture of somebody with fish and deer. There's always a good story behind it. That's something you just don't see a lot of other places. So we'll start off with this one here. We've had her on a lot. Tess Randall Jolly. She was proud to have her work featured here on. Let's see. On the cover of the spring issue of Turkey and Turkey Hunter magazine. So Tess actually took this picture. As a professional photographer, your goal is to be published and is to make the cover. I mean, you can do all kinds of things, but really what you want to do is get on the cover of the magazine. So good job, Tess. We're going to be seeing she and her husband and folks coming up in June at the big SILPA meeting. This is a good story here. Had Kenny Bostic on the other day. And we had, I'm going to say, Winston, after I was on your show, I got a text from James Blythe. He said when he was a young boy, I took him and his dad squirrel hunting. He lost his dad in '98, but it brought back a lot of memories. I found this picture 70 years ago in our backyard. I'm on the right, and my dad caught these specks. And what's cool about it, that's Kenny and his brother. And I want you to look at that stringer. You know, we always talk about back in the day, catching fish and all. Here's the proof of it right here. This is a string. This is what the old timers would catch. It was not unusual, and you can tell it's wintertime. And they were, this is over here in St. Andrew, and that's about, they went and caught a bunch of them, and they ate a bunch and gave away a bunch. And I promise you, not one of those went to waste. So thanks, Kenny. I know you're up there now enjoying your place, but I hope you and Martha are enjoying it. But thanks for sharing that with us. Here's another great story. Johnny Sullivan. The river is on fire right now, Winston Chester. And here's the story. I'm going to show you the picture. Okay, wait. Let's look at this big mess right here. That's a mess of them, right? This is on the Choctawhatchee River. All right. So here's Johnny's granddad. This is Johnny Cromer. Is that not a big one right there? And I always love the background and looking at the boats and everything. So that's a great picture there. That's his granddad. And this is little boy Braden. Braden loves to fish. Now what's cool about it, if you look at the boat there, Johnny said, the funniest thing to me is look at his granddaddy. back there on the phone. Usually it's the other way around. The grown-ups holding the fish up and the kids in the background on the phone. I thought this is a good role reversal with electronics. We got to pay attention, Granddaddy. Okay, nice bass there, Braden. And what's cool, here's another one. The boat, Johnny said the boat right there is the same boat that his granddaddy took him fishing in at when Johnny was that age, the age of his son right there. His granddaddy took him fishing. So now he's taking his great grandson fishing in there. So anyway, here's what I said. I replied, wow, that is a heck of a catch. And Johnny Sullivan said, Winston, I saw the river reading on your show a couple of days ago, this was last week, a couple of days ago, and I figured it would be a good time to hit the river, okay? I want to talk about that in a second. We're always talking about timing, and I do these river readings every day, and some of y'all wonder, why in the world do that every day? I do this water temperature at the end of the pier every day, and I don't know if I gave this morning, it's 68. But I do that for a purpose, because the folks that really know what we're talking about pay attention to those little things. If Johnny would have waited to go this weekend, it wouldn't have been on fire. But he knew what the river was going to do on the Choctaw River, and knew where to go, and he got together with family and went during a weekday, was able to just take off and go. So sometimes you got to drop what you're doing and go when the river is right, and that's a lot of times that term is what we're talking about. Okay, get about the pictures. When the fire came through, he hit a lot of people on their leases, and this was right here, Bear Hutchison, and on their lease. But look at how right now he said they only lost. Hopefully, hope the camp didn't burn down. Probably a few people lost to some tree stands or something, but nothing really big. But it really did some damage to a lot of these hunting leases as far as the greenery and all. Here's Bill Barfield sent this. He just had a good point. Wanted me to check it out. Among the neighbors' discussions here off of Star Avenue, they live on Star Avenue. Why is the Forestry Service not doing prescribed burns for the hurricane debris across the county when the time is right? I'm sure there's available funding from the state-fed disaster funds. There's an old saying about maintenance: you can pay a little now or a lot later. In addition, I'm sure St. Joe Corp received a good insurance settlement. Why are they not cleaning up their land? Two good questions to ponder, and it might need to be brought up in a discussion among our local leaders. So that's something for a good discussion there. Thank you, Bill, for sharing your opinion on that. Pam Peterson Kelly took this picture. She actually saw this eagle, this off the 390 up there on the other side of Lynn Haven. This eagle was eating a dead possum. And when she went out and saw it, when she was leaving work there, the eagle flew up in the tree. And then her husband called later and said the eagle's still up there. So she came back and took another picture of him. Pam Peterson Kelly, good job, Pam, on that. And that is a majestic bird right there, eating a dead possum. Dennis Landingham, he's just such a good outdoor artist. Spring chicks at Alligator Lake at St. Andrews State Park. I started this on plain air and finished it in the studio, 20 by 24, all on canvas. I love these kind of, and this painting behind me here in the studio on my green, he did that for us. Okay, the Sunjammer is having a big week-long redfish tournament. It's going to be March 18th through March 26th. I'm going to get Brad to come in and talk about that, but that's not too far off. Actually, next week after next. So go ahead and start planning, and I need to get Brad to come in here. Okay, let's talk about. Let's go and take a big break right now. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back now. Don't forget, youth turkey hunt tomorrow. I know a lot of y'all plan for it. It looks like it's going to be windy. But we just do the best we can, and y'all send those pictures of those kids getting those turkeys. I mentioned yesterday I wanted to mention the water temperature and what has happened. I'm looking back on my notes, and last Wednesday on March the 2nd, okay, the water temperature was 61 degrees. That was a little bit of 9 days ago, and then it stayed even last Thursday. It was 62. I was going to put this in a graph, and then over the weekend, it was 62 last Friday. A week ago today, it was 62. A week ago today. Over the weekend, it started going up, and then this past Tuesday, all of a sudden, in a three-day span, it hit 67, 66, 67. Today is 68. So that's the chart I was talking about, how it just went, it was like this, and then boom, like that. And it's interesting to follow that. I have a couple more pictures I want to show you before I get into some other. I'm going to run out of time, I can tell. But check this out. Some of y'all want to get some fish at Tarpon Dock. I got them right here. Hake is a really good tasting fish, $12.99 a pound. Okay, and here's yellow edge grouper. Again, yellow edge grouper is, to me, that is some fine, look how fresh that is. So if you really want to cook some good fish this weekend, go down and tell Clay you want some of that fresh grouper. That looks good. I may want to get some of that. One more picture, a proud grandparents moment. Our grandson, Peyton McAdams. We watch your show every morning, Tony and Loretta Sowell from Gritney. And look at there, look what he's holding, folks. It's a lifetime hunting and fishing license scholarship. He'll never have to buy a license again here in the state of Florida. What a wonderful experience to have that, never have to worry about that. So good job, young man. There he is, there's a good picture of him right there. He's happy right there. Conservation for generations, and that's what it's talking about. Okay, I got a chance to talk to Matthew Grantham on his Holmes County Turkey Federation did a big banquet last Saturday night, and they had a great turnout. I did talk to him, and he said that they had about 130-something people. That's really good. On Monday's show, I'm going to have Ken Paramore coming on talking about turkey hunting and some things, and he may be giving away something. We'll see. I made a quick note about, you know how I do, each month I do to-do stuff, March to-do, and here it is, March 11th already. I'm running behind. I'm going to go through this fairly fast. I always do the top 10 or 11 things to do. Of course, we got to talk about turkey, and then in a few minutes on the fishing report, I'm going to talk about the Spanish mackerel. That's two things right there, 1 and 2 for the month of March. 3, you keep looking at those sheds. This is probably the last good month to do it, or first part of April, if you're looking for sheds. Number 4 wrote down, go ahead and now find some earthworm suppliers, because pretty soon you're going to need some earthworms, and you won't have to go like some folks from store to store trying to find some earthworms. So that's important. Make sure they had a shortage of them recently. Number 4, March, get your surf fishing stuff ready. Make sure everything's ready. Your cart, make sure the tire's not flat, and there's all kinds of little things you want to do with surf fishing. Make sure the rod holders are intact. Number 6, one thing I'm going to talk about, this clarity of the water this time of year. It's just really clear. So if you get a chance to do any kind of sight fishing, March is a good month to do it. If you get out of the wind and all, it's really good clear water. Number 7, the bass, they had the spawning and all. Bass fishing is really heating up. They're having a lot of tournaments and all. Let's see, you're going to move on. Make sure you go hiking. It's a great month to go hiking. Run there to Real State Park and check it out. Check your outdoor food supply, your can of hyenas and beanie weenies and all that in the spring, early spring, because you're going to be out in the woods. Make sure you've gone through a hard winter, had to eat all that stuff. So now you want to make sure your supply of beanie weenies and hyenas is stacked up in the pantry there. Number 1, red horse sucker fishing. I haven't talked a lot about that this year, and didn't talk about it a lot recently. Red horse sucker fishing or gigging in these feeder creeks is just it's sort of a small little corner of what some outdoorsmen enjoy doing. We don't talk a lot about it, but it's a lot of fun right now, because they're leaving the river system and going up in these creeks for spawning. So red horse sucker gigging, that's the way we did it. And also March is quail. If you can find some quail hunts, this is the time of the year to do, the best time of the year to do some quail hunts. Late February, early March. So tie in on that. That's the things to do in the March situation. All right, now we're going to do our giveaways. I do have to add a name. Just got it in. Bo Nichols. We'll add this to yours. Okay, now speaking of Tarpon Dock, that's why I wanted to mention that. All the things going on Tarpon Dock. I have a Chuck left us those holsters, and I was going to give one away today, but I think I'm going to wait at random. One day next week, I'm going to give away one of those holsters he brought in early part of this week. We'll do that next week. Okay, now this is for Tarpon Dock, and this is a $20 gift certificate, and the winner is all the way from Santa Rosa Beach, Marie Borges. Okay, put you right here, Marie, and a big red snapper. You see what I was going for a pound, so that's everything's expensive now. And the winner, big red snapper from Parker James Haney. All right, Marie Borges and James Haney, Parker and Santa Rosa Beach. So we're going to get set up for our Friday fishing report. So we're going to take this break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our Friday fishing forecast. I've gathered from all kinds of different people, and some of the stuff, most of it's true, and some of it they say it should be this way. But anyway, here's what's going on. We're talking about water temperature. I did call Carey at the pier, talked to him Wednesday, this day before yesterday. He said the pier report, I had talked to him about a month ago, it's been steady, a little slow at times, but fairly steady on redfish and sheephead mainly. And it's had some good runs there on occasion. He said, we talked about it, we always enjoy talking about the Spanish and the third fog and all that. We haven't had a third fog yet. On my counts, I think we've had 2 fogs, so maybe the next fog that comes in, that would be the old timers coming in with the Spanish. He felt like though off the pier, there'll be a lot of folks probably fishing off the pier. It feels like some Spanish will be caught off the pier this weekend. And with the wind and all, it's going to be iffy at times. But he feels like according, he's been there about 30 years. He's kept records over the years, and he and Popeye used to keep notes and all that. So he pretty well set. If you're not pier fishing or casting for them, I'm going to show you the rig here. This is my rig. I love this old rig right here, but this is for trolling, okay? But basically what I want to show you, what we call, I've showed it to you each year, I show you a straw rig with different colors, 4 to 5 on there, and then at the end of it, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little silver spoon right here. That's a little silver flashy. And it's really, I always get a kick out of straw rig. Got a little weight here to troll with. So this is the trolling rig we've always used and always had good, not always, but when they came out and started catching, we used to just troll silver plates and all. And that was what we had for a long time. Now, the Spanish mackerel is an aggressive fish, and they're smart fish because they travel in schools. But what they'll do, they'll come in and they'll go into like a feeding frenzy and just start hitting anything. And it's really interesting to watch it. I want to start at Okaloosa. Let's start over there first. The Okaloosa Pier, the report, they did Wednesday of this week, they caught the first blackfin tuna off the Okaloosa Pier. Now remember, Choctawhatchee Bay, I forget how big it is. It's 130 square miles. Check this out. Choctawhatchee Bay is 130 square miles. I mean, that's huge right there. And the river itself, going into it, I mean, it's also long. Choctawhatchee Bay is about 30 miles long. It's sort of a unique bay system. Now, ironically, a lot of Spanish don't come up into here. But now, this is going to be some good fishing, just bay fishing this week in the Choctawhatchee Bay. The Spanish, if they're going to be down on the south end. Okay, I'm going to show you the number 1 spot if you're trolling. You're going to see this right away. It's not a secret anymore for a long time. Right here in the center of the screen, there are going to be folks there. There are going to be captains there. I don't know about this weekend, but pretty soon. And what happened, the Spanish will come in on incoming tide. The Spanish will come in and they will actually, right in this area right here, they're going to come in on the incoming tide. Okay, and if you want to fish off the rocks, catch them on the incoming tide coming in, and then on outgoing tide going out. And they're going to just start making a circle, right through here in the center part. And once I mean, they're feeding. They're all up in here. And while you and your fellow fishermen are just going to make a big circle there in the center. And the biggest thing on this, you've seen the video when I've done it all. It draws a crowd. And what you got to look for, the biggest telltale sign, it goes back to Hawk Masalina and the very earliest guides we had. They'd have all this fancy stuff. They did one thing. They looked for those birds. So when they saw those birds flying around and then saw them start doing that, boom, boom, they headed to them. And it was enjoyable talking to the old timers. They never counted on anything but the birds. That's what they looked for. Birds diving for bait. And once you see that, then what you happen, we just want to troll up. Now what people will start doing is just trolling around in a big circle. Don't cut in front of anybody and don't cut too close behind someone and cut their lines. I don't think anybody does that intentionally, but a lot of times people have the lines out a little bit too far and somebody sort of cut behind. But try to get into the pattern and just, whatever the pattern is, and slow pattern. And some folks, I've seen this, I've seen some of our fishing guys do this. They'll stop, and some of their clients want to fly fish. It's excellent fly fishing when they hit the top water. So they'll just stop there and put the power pole down and let their client go ahead and fly fish there. So it's really fun doing. Now also, you surf fish move on down St. Joe Bay the same way. They'll come up here on the point right up in here. The best place to catch them here would be off the point, and just troll them there toward Mexico Beach. And you can catch them from the surf, and then down here, they're very plentiful on this backside. Same situation on the backside of Dog Island, backside of St. George Island. That cut right there, especially on the incoming tide and the outgoing tide, is some really good stuff. Okay, so anyway, if you don't want to catch Spanish start on it, it won't be won't be a bonanza this weekend, but it's coming up in March, and it should be coming up this weekend on into next weekend, and just keep going up. So, and St. Patrick's Day, some people always say, let's do it on St. Patrick's Day. So, anyway, we're ready for Spanish. That's what's in season. That's what's hot now. But also the redfish are out there. Also, still some sheephead left over, and rode out some trout fishing is really starting to pick up. They're moving around, and I've had you're going to sight fish. So good for those right now, the redfish and trout. So it's going to be a good weekend. On the backside of Indian Pass, okay, it'll be a good place to go. I'm right here on the backside of Indian Pass. I show it all the time. Backside of St. Vincent Island and all. It's always a good place to go red fishing. If you can get out of the wind, that'd be a good thing to do. And that's what you got to keep in mind for tomorrow. Got to get out of here. Had a great week. Looking forward to another great week. You enjoy the outdoors this weekend. Stay warm, and don't forget time changes. You have a great day. Do something good for another man or woman today. Have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.